We're back with another one.
Another video for you guys.
Another one. Yeah, we're back again. Anyway, excuse the bloopers. We're back again, guys, with another one. And obviously, our platform is going to be very much education driven, and we're going to be talking about young people, but we're going to try our best to talk about current topics, but then make sure that we can flip it on its head and talk about how it is gonna,
how these current events affect young people, how they will look at it, what their perception is of it in these current events and times that we go through now, that everyone's aware of.
What he said. So, obviously, we had to talk about. Oh Lord, I don't even need to say it. I just have to do this. So it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's actually not funny.
No, there's a lot of angles from this.
It's not funny. Yeah, it's not funny. Okay, so if you were not able to identify what I was talking about, I am talking about the Will Smith and Chris Rock saga.
Yeah.
Madness.
We're gonna jump straight into it.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep doing this. I'm gonna stop talking into the mic. Let's just talk. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's better.
We're gonna jump straight into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the scenario is Chris Rock made a joke. It referred to alopecia.
Yeah.
Not alopecia. Somebody losing their hair, bald.
This is the thing. He didn't make a joke about alopecia, and he didn't make a joke about someone losing their hair. Do you see what I'm saying? Because let's be honest. As much as we should all be woke about certain situations, there are some people that didn't know that Jada had alopecia, and maybe, just maybe, Chris Rock didn't know, and he had thought that maybe she had just peeled off her head top. So when he's made that joke, what did he say? Something like Jedi, whatever. Because I don't even know who that was properly. I Googled the character, and she's a hottie. She's a Caucasian hottie with short hair.
I think what it was, see, this is the thing. There's so many layers to this conversation. Because you have to ask yourself, how close are Chris and Will
of course.
say, does he know something that is deep down that he knows about Jada or whatever, and now you're trying to take the piss and make a joke about it? It's not funny. Will, I understand what Will did in a sense of, he found it funny at first. He realized his woman was upset, and then he felt he was in a position to defend her in a way.
Yeah, but okay, I think we need to talk about this in like little steps, right? So, okay, the joke has been made, right? And Will Smith took it upon himself to walk on the stage and clap man in his face. Yeah. Then went back to his seat and then shouted,
"My wife's name out your fucking mouth!"
I'm going to.
Right? I would have preferred if Willie didn't do that. I would have preferred if Will stood up and shouted that and didn't do the whole physical altercation business. I would have preferred him to have done that. Or I would have preferred if he had gone on the stage and he had said, like scolded him a little bit, like, why do you think that joke was funny? Because are you aware that my wife has got? Do you know what I mean?
I think what it was that moment of madness that it's not right, but everybody has had it at some point in life. Not say you walked over and slapped somebody. You may have said something to somebody.
He is too rich and too clever to have a moment of madness. That's just my thinking.
See, the reason I don't agree with that, because regardless of how much money he is or how much fame he's got,
he's human.
He still bleeds. He's still human. He still has good days, bad days. He still wakes up pissed off.
I get that. But guess what? You at the Oscars, bro.
I hear that. 100%.
So, and sorry, you're an actor. You need to put on a show. I heard someone go, what he should have done was sat there, and his blood could have been boiling a little more, hold it in. And you see at the after party, you wrap man up there. No one has to know that. No one has to know that you gave him more than one slap in his head top. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, deal with it in that way. Or just be mature about the matter and invite him round to your house and say to him, listen, I didn't appreciate that comment. I want you to publicly go forward and I think
because he was publicly embarrassed at the time. No, like I said to you, it was a moment of madness because if he can rewind his mind and go back, he probably wouldn't have done that. You know, you see on TV shows when something happens and something drastic happens, they jump up and slap their teacher and then they come back into the class and they're sitting there because that's what they were thinking about doing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think that is what happened.
Do you know what? That is exactly how I felt. That is why I think so many people thought that it was staged. Because that was a moment that you see in a play, in a movie, where they showed a scene of what I wanted to do. Was,
yeah, and then in real life, but I was really sitting here.
But man really did that. And I can guarantee that he himself has been in a show. Fresh Prince, there must have been an episode where something like that has happened. What I wanted to do and what I really did. Mm-hmm. Like the one where he's in a dream or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's happened. So I just think that shouldn't have happened. That I think he's put himself in a really bad light because that's not him.
Like you said, we're going to talk about this in stages.
Yeah.
I'm going to just jump to the back bit real quickly. Mm-hmm. I'm very happy they didn't take his Oscar away from him. I'm very, very happy that they didn't. Yeah. Because he's done so many great movies into the world of acting and things like that. He's had a major contribution. The movies that we know of that are amazing, that people talk about, he was in. Independence Day, Men in Black. So he didn't get Oscars for those.
Right.
Pursuit of Happiness. He didn't get Oscars for those. Right. So to actually finally make it, if they would have took it away from him, who knows where Will Smith could have been mentally. They've banned him from the Oscars.
For 10 years.
Man don't want to go back there anyway.
I think he does, but that's
but that's the way he's got to look at it now. Course, he has to look at it now like, I don't want to go anyway, so I've got what I've come for, which was getting my Oscar. It's going to sit in my room, in my mantle, cool. The next thing I wanted to say was, the next section that we wanted to say was, remember that comment was made and he was laughing first.
Yeah.
And then looked over at Jada. And then he got mad and upset and did what he did.
Yeah. Because like what people have said, he was in role at that moment. It's a comedian on stage making a joke. So he's talking about my wife. So whilst I'm in role, remember, when we go to work, we're in role. You see, when we go parents' evening for them lot, we're in role. And that's what he was. He was in character at the time. He's laughed it off because to him at that time, he's like, he might have himself been actually bubbling, really mad about the comment, but said, you know what though, I'm gonna act out and I'm just gonna laugh it off. It's fine. Then he's obviously looked over at his wife, and as I said, like many people have said, we don't know what he has had to do to support her through the things that she's been going through. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Someone also allegedly said that maybe she didn't have alopecia, maybe she had cancer. And maybe they're not letting us into that much information about why she lost her hair.
Yeah.
We don't know, like many people have said, this is me just kind of repeating things that I've watched online. We don't know if she was up crying nights, weeks, do you know what I mean? Months, and he's there having to comfort her. So when he's looked over at her, that is where it's pinged
the
and
pain
he's got, he's hitting.
And he's had a moment of madness.
He's had a moment of madness, right?
Yeah.
Now, if we now revert this, because we've now spoken about like the ins and outs of the situation, if we now revert this to young people who, I don't care how old you are, you know who Will Smith is. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Very true.
You know who Will Smith is.
Which is very,
even
very
if
true.
Nyla, who's our daughter, who's 5, even if she doesn't know his name, she's seen a movie with him in it. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Even if one of our kids don't know him by name, if she saw him on the screen, she would know.
Or heard the Fresh Prince soundtrack.
Or Fresh Prince. Or
everybody
like
knows who he is, and everyone knows how like successful he is and talented. Let's not take that from him, yeah. As a young person now, where we are constant, and let me also be honest, when I became head of year, every assembly, every interview I went on, I would always include either a quote or a video from Will Smith, because that man has got inspirational quotes for days. Yeah. And then it's like, even the week before it happened, in an assembly, I had a quote on the board about success and not giving up and going over obstacles and not allowing people, do you know what I mean? All those kind of stuff. And then the young people are seeing him do this, and then they're going, but hold on. You're telling me to do this, you're telling me to do that, you're telling me to do this, you're telling me not to give up, da-da. But then a man says a joke about your wife, and you go up on the stage at the Oscars in your suit and slap him in his face.
Yeah, it was a bit. The thing is that I think the problem is that it could have gone so many ways, and once again, it's very difficult to explain to young people. You guys don't understand. Will Smith may have been with his wife, and she may have been battling cancer or alopecia, and he got angry. There's no way you can explain that to young people, because you can only say to them that what he did was wrong, because violence is not the answer.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. You can't justify Will Smith's action to anybody of any young age. If it was somebody who's older...
No, but the thing is with that, I disagree with you, because I think it needs to be a teachable moment, in a sense where we say to these young people, he made a bad mistake. He made a mistake, and that what he did was wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To say to him, to us, only thing you can say to young people is that what he did was wrong.
But at the same time, also, as I say, teachable moment, like you said, it was a moment of madness, and it was a moment of him, do you know what I mean? And maybe getting the young people to identify what could he have done instead. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Because when it happened, the hustle and the bustle of everybody talking about it, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for Will, or oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for Chris Rock. It was more of, rah, did you not see Will Smith smack that man in his face? Did you see? Because remember, most of them don't even know who Chris Rock is. Too tough, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So when that joke has been, when that's happened, the joke is on Chris Rock. And I don't think a lot of us have taken time out to think about how embarrassing that must have been for him.
And the thing is that he was a much bigger person, because
100%.
it would have looked really, really, really bad.
Oh my gosh!
If Will Smith slapped him and Chris Rock slapped him back, then we got two brothers on the stage
rolling around in suits, fighting. But back to what I was saying about the young generation and the young people that are sat now watching this, people that. I've got students that when I ask them, like, who are your who inspires you to want to be an actor, or who are your top actors, and in my lessons when I'm showing them in a lesson I did a homelessness project the other day, and I showed them a clip from Pursuit of Happiness. So when they're on the tube station and he goes into the toilet with the son and they sleep in the toilet and whatever, and it was homelessness, and it was teach them about empathy. And I was showing him that Will Smith is a great actor because he's one actor that's able to show empathy in his performances. He's not that person. He hasn't experienced what that person has experienced. And then it's like, then for them to see him do that on stage, it is a lot to take in. And then, as I say, the conversation amongst the young people in my school anyway, and like just being out and about and hearing people talking about it, it was more so about, as I say, the thrill of it, the funny side of it. Did you see what Will Smith did to that man? Yeah. We need to also, I think, as a people, I know it's not that deep, but talk to him about Chris Rock. Because after that man got slapped, Chris Rock put his hands, I think it was either behind his back or in front of him, as if like to say, like,
bro, you're lucky. You're lucky we're at the Oscars, right? You know.
Do you see what I'm trying to say?
You know you're good. We're at the Oscars, right?
Because, as you say, he could have retaliated. He could have just dropped them through the mic and walked off stage and said, "I ain't doing this no more." And do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much things that could have happened, but he was resilient, and he was like, "I'm still gonna do what I've been paid to do, and I'm still gonna stand here, even though my right cheek is on fire right now. I'm gonna deep one. That it's mad. It's mad. I just don't think that should have happened, and I just don't think it was a good look for him because of who he is and because of the kind of influence he has on the acting scene, on the world. Do you know what I mean? He's an international actor that is known by everyone. So to do that, he was 100% on the news everywhere around the world.
Because the Oscars is such a prominent event.
Like, it's madness to me.
It's Will Smith. Like, if you watch movies, you've seen a Will Smith movie, and he doesn't do bad ones. Do you understand?
So then what do we say then? Like, say, for example, I don't know, we were to do an assembly on this, or we wanted to talk to the young people about it. What point are we going at with them about this?
What we've done in my school, we made it a tutor time for 2 days. We spoke about what Will Smith did was wrong, because everyone knows what he did, everyone knows what he said.
Yeah.
What is a different type of approach that you can take to somebody when they are putting you in a position where you feel embarrassed, where you feel hot, and instead of the only response you have is to explode, what other avenues can you explore?
Yeah.
Like, what else can you do? And what it was from the other side was that with Chris Rock, how is he feeling? Like, how does he feel? Because he may feel angry. If you say he feels angry, how did he show that? If you say that he feels embarrassed, how did he show that? Now, like you said, his body language was one thing. Do you understand? He didn't blow up. He didn't retaliate.
No, but what is the message that we're saying to them, though? Because remember, every action will be followed with a reaction.
The only message you can give to them is that the violence is not the answer.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, they throw it back and they're like, yeah, but he disrespected him. Are we saying then now you shouldn't protect your own? You shouldn't. Do you know what I mean? Because in a sense, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, I understand
He was
that.
protecting his wife in a moment where she was made to feel uncomfortable, and then in turn made him feel uncomfortable. So are we saying to young people, if you ever feel intimidated or disrespected, you should, or are we saying, and actually, react, but just don't react in a violent manner? I just wish that.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't react.
Don't react in a.
You can't react in a violent manner. You cannot react because there's no one you can really say that will say what he did was 100% right.
I'll be honest. In the beginning, when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, Will Smith's sick. I was like, if that was me, Philip better go up on that stage and slap him in his face. That was me in the beginning. Like, I was laughing about it. I'm not going to lie. I was acting like one of the kids. I rewinded that over and over again. I was here for the memes. Yeah. I was here for the memes. Yeah. Because I was like, yeah, that was funny. And then I will be honest, again, as I do, sat watching YouTube, watching like different, especially the ones in America, like hearing what they had, because it was all over their news and everything, like just listening to their talk shows and what they had to say about it. I then started to deep it and I started to go, rah, this is so wrong on so many levels. For him, for his family,
it's
for his mental health.
It's very embarrassing.
For Chris, because could you imagine the amount of people that must be reaching out now to Chris Rock, wanting to hear from him, like, how does he feel? And do you know what I mean? And then one thing though, that is interesting, like if something happens at school and we do an R&R with the kids, we sit them down and we do the kind of resolution, we're going to sit down and talk. That Jada will do their whole red table talks or whatever. I don't want for Will Smith and Jada to do one of those talks unless they're going to invite Chris Rock along. And there are many people that are saying this as well. I don't think that I don't think that Will Smith and Jada should sit down to discuss this, and have it out and explain what he was feeling, without Chris Rock. Unless, as you said earlier, there is more to it that we don't know. Unless there is something that we don't know. Unless there's like, we were good friends. He came round to the house and he was there when Jade was breaking down. If there's more to it like that, then there's a spin on this. It's different. The storyline's different. But
one of the major things that's happened with this is that the whole thing that he slapped him has overshadowed everything.
Everything.
When I was at work, when I was at school with the kids, and I asked them in a class of 30 kids, in fact, I asked 3 tutor groups, so 90 kids. How many of you people here knew that was Will Smith's first Oscar? 3 people put their hands up.
Yeah.
Now, that means that the situation that you did, that you caused, has overshadowed the situation. And I use that as a teachable moment to them.
Of course.
I said to them, sometimes if you do something that's bad, it will overshadow your whole big situation.
That's a good point.
It will make things not seem the amazing work you've done can be spoiled by one big major decision.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
And that seeps into the whole self-fulfilling prophecy idea as well. Like you do that one thing, it's now become a label that's now a part of you. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like exactly what you said about the fact that, did they know that was his first Oscar? Did anyone even sit and tune in and listen to his speech when he received his Oscar? No. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Because all they knew about is the slap.
Yeah.
The assault, because that's what it was. It was assault. Do you get me? And it's just kind of like, I just wish not him. Like, if you had said to me, Kanye, I'd have spent, that would have been like, expected. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
But that couldn't be Kanye.
You would have never.
That they would then end up rocking on the stage.
100%. No, but I mean Kanye slapping Chris Rock. If it was that way round, I would get that. But I don't think, even like when you watch it back, you see a few of the actors in the background. And their faces, to me, it's of uncomfortable shock of, is this an act? Because we know Will Smith does acting and Chris Rock's different than dabbles in acting.
They're actors, so you would think it was an act. But that is why, very few people agree with me, but that is why I think Will Smith said what he said when he got back to his seat. Not just for dramatic effect, just to let everybody know that, bitch, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because if you go back to the clip, when he slapped him, a lot of the people were like, oh, Rod. They were like, ha ha ha. Yeah. And then even when Chris Rock said, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me, people were laughing because they think that, Rod, this must be a joke. He didn't really slap him. Yeah. So when Will Smith said, keep my wife's name out your mouth, that was to let everyone know, I'm not joking. That's why he said it more than once. And he said it with his whole chest. If you listen to it, not just listen to Will Smith, what Will Smith said. If you listen to the reaction of the crowd through the steps, it got more serious,
and it just got
got more silent.
Yeah,
that lets you know what the mood was in that room. Yeah, do you understand? People thought it was a joke at first. Yeah, but afterwards, once he said that, then Chris Rock said what he said. You can see Chris Rock's demeanor was.
Yeah. And that wasn't, when he shouted that, like you said, it wasn't for like effect. It was a message to everyone. So a few weeks prior to the Oscars, he was on the red carpet with his wife, and I can't remember what her name is. She's a transgender actor. She was on the red carpet. You know, like when they do like the little question, like, hi, how are you? What are you wearing today? Da, da, da. So she's asking him questions. I can't remember the comment, but she said something to Jada like, well, let's hope there's no more entanglements. Like, you don't say that to the king. You said that to Will and his wife. I hope there's no... So that alone could have been a moment of burning for him then. But then I'm just like, so why didn't you slap the shit out of her?
And you know the thing is, that right there to Will, even to me, you saying that, to Will as well, like, not that he's losing, not like he's losing in grits of the streets, but that there shows that people are they have less respect for you, because they were not gonna ask a respectable individual nothing like that.
So it shows you, but then you have to question, why are these people feeling comfortable doing that? Why? Because they're putting their life out there. They're letting every Dick, Tom and Harry.
To be honest, not only that, but because the way that Jada is disrespecting Will so publicly on so many different
fronts. But the thing is, this is what we have to recognize. To you, it's a disrespect because you wouldn't allow that in your relationship. He was A-okay with it.
No, I'm not just talking about that.
Yeah.
Okay. in all, really and truly, Jada Pinkett, in what she is everything you do not want in a wife.
Oh, 100%.
From A to Z.
Yeah.
Even with this whole situation, she came out, which was very embarrassing for Will as well, and was like, I don't think you should have slapped him. I don't understand why you did that. I didn't tell you to do that. That's embarrassing. And so if she's saying that, she's supposed to be the closest person to him, and you haven't got that.
Is that she's allegedly said that? Or
No, she said that.
Her mouth?
She said that.
Okay.
She said that. If you've done that, you're consistently disrespecting him on a public front. So if you do that and you're supposed to be the closest person to him, no one else is going to respect you in the street. Do you understand? No one else is going to take you serious in that type of form. So if that's happening and he can go out into public on camera and someone can ask him, well, I hope there's no more entanglements, that's embarrassing. You don't embarrass.
No, of course it's embarrassing.
Example, I'm going to take it way back. Do you think on the red carpet at the mobiles or anything, anyone would have ever turned their mouth and said to, hey, yo, Jay-Z, did you sort that situation that happened in the lift?
Yeah.
Never.
Happen. Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
Never.
Yeah.
And that's even...
No, but this is what I'm saying. Look at Beyonce and Jay-Z, how they kept that very private. To this day, no one has spoke. It happened. That video got leaked. And we never heard about it again.
And do you know why? Not only because it wasn't publicized, because you are 100% right with that. No one's going to do that. But at the same time, people's got that level of respect and fear, if you want to put them in the same bracket, of Jay-Z, that even if you got him on a red carpet in a room, you're not asking him that.
I still disagree with that, because I still think it's because of how much you are letting out. I watched a chat show, an American one, and they were kind of going along the same lines, but they were saying something about now that they have started this show where they've like opened the doors and opened the book so that everyone can see everything that's going on in their life, like every little thing they're commenting on, they have now become YouTubers, influencers. So if you're going to do that, you need to be ready for the negative backlash that's going to come with it. Because, for example, people are going to watch this and be like, this is rubbish, we've heard this before. We are opening up for this because the comment box is open. We want you to comment, by the way. The comments are open. So if someone wants to say, Larisha chatting rubbish, like whatever, it's allowed. You have now said it's okay because you've come onto a platform where people have freedom of speech, which is why we can sit here and discuss this because it's an open platform. So what I'm saying is, I think that the just from what you were saying before about with the young people, you said something like the message is, if you put something out there about yourself that's negative, all of the other things you've done has now been lost and forgotten. That's kind of what they've done. I feel like they needed to be a Victoria and what's the guy, the footballer, David Beckham. They needed to be a Jay-Z and Beyonce. They needed to kind of be a Rihanna and her dude. Exactly. Keep it quiet. We don't need to know everything. Remember, you are a brand you're a brand for whatever it is that your talent is in, acting, makeup, whatever. I don't want to know all the other extra stuff, because now I've seen, like, I'm not going to lie, I'm reading this book at the moment and it is quite interesting. And the reason why I'm finding it interesting is, and it's fine, I find it deep, is because I'm finding out things about him that I'm like, oh, so that's why you kind of do things like this, and that's why you kind of said that, and that's why that happened in that show. Oh, and this is how this started for you. So it's interesting. But if you deep it, you see people that write those books, it normally comes much later down in your life when you've achieved and accomplished quite a lot. Someone's not just gonna Someone's not just gonna bust and all of a sudden write a book. And if they do write a book, like shortly after just coming out, they're very specific about what they put in that book. I think that the book was a good time. It came at the right time for him. But prior to you having the book, all of this madness has been unfolding on this Red Table Talks, and it is a very good show, don't get me wrong. It's a very good show, but my thing is, like I said, every action then follows with a reaction. So your action of doing this table talks is going to get a reaction from people. And that's where Chris Rock thought, fair game. If you lot are happy to talk about yourselves, and maybe Chris Rock chose them to make the joke about them specifically because he thought that they were two people that are able to deal with, do you know what I mean? Are able to take it.
And I think that is a major thing. I think now that Will is like, bro, I'm tired of being taken for a dickhead. Like, I think literally it's that.
That's what it was.
What you just said about, I think Chris Rock felt like they're okay to take it. But just reverting back, just to close, I think when it comes to the younger ones, the younger people, in this type of situation, all I can say to them is that violence is not the way forward, because you have to talk to them about Will Smith's punishment and glorify what that means to him and why that is wrong. You have to talk about the embarrassment that he's put himself and his family through, because you all know that what he did was wrong, and now... And
that's still your dad, that's still your husband.
Right, and people are going to say, oh, look, that's Will Smith's... That's what's his name's dad, the one that slapped him. Will Smith it's for himself. He's no longer the amazing actor in Independence Day. The pioneer of Men in Black, The Pursuit of Happiness, King Richard. He's the don that slapped Chris Rock. Yeah. Do you understand? And so you have to show to those ones that although he's done all of these things, this one moment of madness will now have a huge impact and damage his legacy. Yeah.
And it's such a shame. It's such a shame, especially after you've just done that great movie, for something like that to happen. But as you said, I think the message is very, very clear. You could be the greatest person in the world, the greatest person. If you then go and then you do something like that, that can just then
tarnish your whole reputation.
Huge impact. There's repercussions to everything that you do. And I think that is on a smaller scale what the young people in school don't realise. In a moment of madness, when you get angry because you've been going through whatever you're going through, you swear at the teacher. You could be the nicest student. I'm taking that personally, sorry.
And now you're not the kid who got the great grades. You're not the kid did all of that. You're the disrespectful you who used bad language towards your member of staff.
Right. Because you were in your feelings about something when there was a different way to handle it. Do you see what I mean?
What will be nice is in the next couple of months, if Will Smith does find a way not to claw it back, like he's not going to be allowed back at the Oscars, or maybe he does show a really big apology to Chris Rock. He does explain it to why this happened, and then that can be used as another moment to young people and say, you can do wrong, you can revert. Try not to do wrong in the first place, because prevention is always better than cure. Yeah. But let's find a way to change it and do things differently.
Agreed, yeah. Like, and sorry, just one more thing. And I think we might need to do another podcast on this, because there's so, remember I said there's so much levels to this, yeah? The other thing is, if we start to talk about race, remember Oscars isn't a black thing. Let's keep it all the way real. Oscars, they don't want black people at the Oscars.
I think what...
So you're just showing, you're creating this stereotype of this is how black people deal with tough situations. Because if that was anyone else that was other than black, that joke had been said, they may have just laughed it off and then let their lawyers deal with that afterwards. If it was that deep. But then for you to get up and do that, you've just kind of put this label on black people. Do you see what I'm trying to say? We invite you to the Oscars. We put you right up. I didn't even realise how close to the stage you were sitting, yeah? We put you right front centre.
Front row.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? To scream and shout about you and your success. And then you get up on the stage and act like that. And then even worse, if Chris had retaliated.
Yeah, that's the worry. If Chris would have retaliated, it would have been messy.
Like, they would have been rolling down the stairs.
All of that.
Would have been craziness.
Blood, security coming on to take them apart.
But anyway, let's wrap this one up. Thanks, guys. Thank you for tuning in again with another one of our podcasts, Agree to Disagree. I think we both kind of agreed today on...
the wrongs of what he was done.
Yeah, and just... on a serious note, though, I do hope that he gets himself out of this one, because he is a legend. He literally is a legend. So
he is legend.
Yeah. So yeah. So we need to sort that out. But anyway, guys, please do comment, share, like, tune into the next one and do it all over again. Comment, share, like, just keep doing it. Just subscribe to the page. And just, support us, because we are the voice of the people.
Amen.
So please do, though, honestly, comment below and just let us know what your thoughts are on this, because I am quite interested in this topic and I just want to hear what other people think. So thanks, guys.